Assalamu alaikum, my dear learners. I hope that all of you are hale and hearty, safe and sound by the grace of Almighty. And I hopefully expect that you are not idling away your time. You are just utilizing your time properly. And once again, I am just before you with the topic that is agreement among words. But listen, my dear learners, I'm not going to give you some panacea just to remove your problems in English, but to provoke your thoughts. Yes, agreements is a well-acquainted word to you, as very frequently we have to do subject-verb agreement, noun-pronoun agreement. But today we are going to learn something much more. The agreement is not confined with the term only, subject and verb, noun and pronoun. Today we are going to learn some other agreements of words used in a sentence. Let us see what are the agreements among words. One is subject-verb agreement, another is verb-object agreement, verb-adverb agreement, auxiliary verb and principal verb agreement, noun-pronoun agreement, adjective noun agreement, noun preposition agreement, adverb adjective agreement. But before that we have to learn what is agreement. What agreement is? Yes, we know while expressing our thought or sharing ideas, we have to use some words in speech, and the words in that very speech are interconnected. One word takes its form depending on others. Just we are going to give it clear, make it clear. So at first we will clarify the term subject and verb agreement. Yes, what will be the form of a verb in a sentence definitely depend on the very subject of that very sentence. So now come to the first sentence. Roger along with Reza and Rana was present there. So we can find that in subject portion we can have three words. One is Roja, Reza and Rana. But look, the verb is singular. Why? Because we know that if any noun or pronoun is connected with a preposition, if more noun or pronoun are connected with preposition, then what will be the verb will depend on the first noun, as these two nouns are connected with a preposition phrase. So here the very head word of the subject is Roja. Hence we use the word was, not were. But if we erase this portion, Roja, Reza and Rana, then we will have to use the word were, not was. So this is the subject and verb agreement. Again, 2/3 of the work has been done. Yes, has been done. It seems to be singular. Yes, it is singular verb. But the noun seems to be plural, because here we use two mathematical term. One is 2/3 fraction, 2/3 of the word. But the verb is singular because the subject here used is singular. Again, the colors of this shirt are attractive. So, though the word shirt is singular, but here head word is color. So here R is correct, because the word noun colors is plural. Again, the number of the student is satisfactory. Look at the noun phrase or subject. The number of the students. Here head word is the number. But we can find that the students is plural. Though the word students is plural, but we are to use here is singular verb form, because here the head word is the number. So these are subject-verb agreement. Again, another example we can find. Altruism means practicing humanity in society. We can find here the subject is altruism. It is an abstract noun, and definitely it is a singular, and as it is in present form, so means here takes the third person singular form. So these are the agreement between subject and verb. Now let us see what are the agreements between verb and object. So now you have to very frequently I use the word that is head word. If a noun phrase is the subject or object, if there are so many words, then what will be the head word of that very phrase? So the word used before the first preposition will be the head word. And if the word, noun or pronoun before the first preposition is singular, then the verb will be singular. If the word used before the preposition is plural, then the verb will be plural. So it is very easy to identify head word. So now we come to again clarify the agreement between verb and object. So this is subject verb agreement. So now at this very moment আমি তোমাদের ক্লাস নিচ্ছি, অনলাইন ক্লাস নিচ্ছি। So if you are asked to translate the sentence in English, I am taking your class. আমি তোমাদের ক্লাস নিচ্ছি। Is it correct? No. Here the agreement between object and verb. আমি তোমাদের ক্লাস নিচ্ছি. It is not I am taking your class. Rather, I am giving your class. I am giving your class, not taking your class. Yesterday, the doctor saw my pulse. So here the verb is saw and my pulse is object. So the doctor saw my pulse. Here, though the object is my pulse, but there should have an agreement. There should have an agreement between the subject, though the subject and verb. Yes, there should have an agreement between verb and object, because all the object do not permit all the verb. ডাক্তার আমার পালস পরীক্ষা করেছেন, saw না. The doctor felt my pulse. So here the agreement is object and verb. Again we can find that I am taking your classes. Here taking is not approved or correct. Here I am giving your class. Some more examples we can set just to make the idea clear. Please see my certificate. দয়া করে আমার সার্টিফিকেটগুলো একটু দেখুন। Here the verb is see, and as it is a transitive verb, my certificate is object. So there is a relationship between the object and verb. But this very verb is not applicable, is not appropriate. This object does not agree with this very verb. Here we have to use, please look at my certificate. So there are so many examples. So we can find a clear relationship among the words. It may be between the subject and verb, it may be between verb and object. So this is the agreement between object and verb, because this very verb is not applicable for the object, my certificate. We can't see a certificate, we can look it. Like similarly, look up the word in the dictionary, not see the word in the dictionary. So this is verb and object agreement. And I hope that you are just following my examples and my speeches. Again, verb and adverb agreement. Yes, the verb and adverb used in a sentence has or have a good relationship between them, because what will be the form of a verb will depend on the adverb used in that very sentence. Now look at the example. Now I am giving you an online class. So here the word now is adverb, and look what is the form of this very verb. The verb form of this very sentence is present continuous. Why? Because adverb of time now is used here. Now look, with the sense of this very adverb, we have to sense the very form of this very verb. If I use the adverb yesterday, then I cannot use the verb form I am giving you a class, online class. Rather, I have to use yesterday I gave you an online class. So this is verb and adverb agreement. There is a good intimacy and relationship between adverb and verb. So this is verb and adverb agreement. Recently, I have given you an online class, and at this very moment, I am giving you a class. So, with the sense of the adverb, we have to just change the very form of the verb. Now, look at the another point. Yes, there is another topic: auxiliary verb and principal verb. We know that the very auxiliary verb used in a sentence determine what will be the form of that very principal verb used in that very sentence. So now look at the example so that you can get the evidence how auxiliary verb and principal verb have a good concord. So now I had done this. So this very form is determined because an auxiliary verb had is preceded by the word done. So we have to use the past participle form of that very verb. Again, I had better do this. With the sense of this very auxiliary verb, we have to sense the form of this very verb. Why? Because all the auxiliary verbs do not support all the form of principal verb of that day. So what will be the form of the principal verb will depend on the very auxiliary verbs used before the principal verb. So this is auxiliary verb and principal verb agreement. Again, there are so many examples. There are so many auxiliary verbs in another class. I will make you just understand what are the functions of auxiliary verb and why they are termed as auxiliary, how they help us, why, in what situations and in what condition, and we can discuss it later on. So now we can find another agreement, that is noun and pronoun agreement. Now let us see what is the noun and pronoun agreement. In my first lecture, while I was just delivering the lecture on pronoun referencing, in that very day I just make you a little bit clear what is the noun and pronoun agreement. Again, we can find it in our example. So now we are going to have some ideas about noun and pronoun agreement. The man who came here yesterday the man who came here yesterday was my uncle. Here the word who is used as a pronoun, relative pronoun, and we cannot but use who, because the very antecedent of this very word is man. So there is a good term and intimacy between noun and pronoun, and this is noun and pronoun agreement. Some more examples we can say. The birds are chirping in its nest. So here you can find that a sentence is said just to make you understand what are the relationship between noun and pronoun, and we can find that the birds are chirping in its nest. So the very subject is here is a noun phrase or auxiliary verb, chirping, principal verb in its nest. So the very pronoun is have a wrong agreement. This very word does not agree with this very noun. This pronoun does not agree. So here we should use in their nest, not in its nest. So it is noun pronoun agreement. Again, a noun should agree with another noun. Noun pronoun agreement we have done just now we have done noun pronoun agreement, but yes, there is another agreement between noun and noun. How? Now look at the whiteboard, please. The female students are to face some obstacles in our society. So the female students are to face some obstacles in our society. Though the word here female is not a noun, but it is wrong because this very word does not agree with the word students. Here we should use the girl students, and student does not agree with the word female. Rather we have to use girl. Again, noun agreement. She has lost a bloating. So it's wrong because the very word bloating is a noun, gerund, and after that very word we have to use blotting paper. So this is noun agreement. Again, she is my cousin sister. This very noun does not agree with cousin. So this is wrong use of noun. Again, we can find that noun pronoun agreement. And noun again, adjective and noun agreement. Yes, we know that there are two types of parts of speech. Those words are called modifying word. They modify the other parts of speech, and they are adjective and adverb. So adjective qualifies a noun or a pronoun or a noun phrase or clause, but all the adjective cannot be used for all nouns. So there should have an agreement. Should have an agreement between noun and adjective. Like we can set some examples just to make it clear. He is my sworn friend. So this is wrong use of adjective. Again, because sworn, the adjective sworn cannot be used for friend. He is my bosom friend. Again, we can set another example. I have a good quantity of books. So this is wrong use of adjective because the adjective phrase does not agree with the noun books because noun is countable. So we can't use quantity here. I have a good number of books. So you have to, again another example, you have to give many attention. So many attention is not applicable. You know, all the adjectives are not applicable for all the noun. So there should have a good relationship or agreement between adjective and noun. So we have to use, you have to give much attention, not more. So these are agreement among words used in a sentence. Again, noun and preposition. So we know that there are two types of connecting words. One is preposition, another is conjunction. So we know after preposition, a noun, pronoun or noun phrase or noun clause is used. So we know that all the preposition do not allow all the nouns after them. Like, I was born in Chilahati. I was born in Chilahati at under Domar at Nilphamari district. So the term preposition requires so much attention and discussion. In our later class we will make it clear, but now let us see how a preposition should have a good command or should have a good relationship or agreement with noun. I was born in Chilahati. It's wrong because these very prepositions do not support or cannot be used in front of Chilahati, rather under Domar Upazila. This one is also wrong at Nilphamari district. So these nouns or adverbial of place, here used as adverb of place, do not support all the preposition. So what will be the preposition depend on the noun, or what will be the noun depend on preposition. So I was born at Chilahati in Domar under Nilphamari district. This is the right one. So we can find here the agreement between preposition and noun. Again, adverb and adjective agreement. Yes, all the adverb, we know adverb qualifies a whole sentence, can qualify a sentence, qualify an adjective, another adverb, preposition, even conjunction. So all the adverb cannot qualify all the adjective. So what type of adverb we can use before what type of adjective, this is called agreement. Adverb and adjective agreement. Now just to make it clear, we can set another example, noun and preposition agreement. Now let us see. Noun and preposition agreement. So the moon moves the moon moves across the earth. So this is wrong, because here the preposition across cannot be used in front of the noun earth. We know that the moon moves around the earth. So here the across is wrong because it does not support the noun earth. So again, adverb and adjective, we can make it clear how adverb and adjective should have a good agreement. She is very wiser. She is very wiser. The man is more good. So these two words are adverb because they are just qualifying the word good and wiser, but they are wrongly used here because wiser is in comparative form and this is an adjective. Definitely good is in positive form and this is an adjective. But an adjective in positive form cannot be modified with an adverb in comparative form. Again, an adjective in comparative form can't be modified with the word very. So here we have to use she is much wiser and the man is very good. So these are agreement among adverb and adjective. So there may have some agreements among adverbs in a sentence, because all the adverbs should not be used simultaneously. Like if in a sentence there is any adverb of downtoner, hardly, scarcely, barely, seldom, then further adverb of negation cannot be used. In grammar it is called redundancy. In our another class, we will make it clear what is redundancy. There are so many redundancies. So there should have a good relationship and agreement among adverbs as well. Because if in a sentence there are so many adverbs, then which adverb should come first and which one should the last? So these are called agreement. I think, my dear learners, you have got the right points. Today I am here not to give you the whole ins and outs of the agreements among words, just to make you. Yes, this is our duty to provoke your thought, to make a brainstorming in you. And now you please exploit your text and find what are the agreements among words used in these very texts. Especially you can scrutinize your understanding or perceptions, especially in English paper 1. You please go through the text and find out the agreements among words, how they are formed with others. Thank you very much.